All right, so welcome to the Executive Board meeting of the United States Chess Federation. Today is July 8th, happens to be my wife's birthday. But let's go ahead and start our meeting. I'll start by calling the roll. So President Kevin Pryor, I'm here. Vice President John Fernandez.
I'm also here.
Vice President of Finance Chuck Unruh.
Present.
Secretary Mike Hoffpower.
Present.
Member at Large Randy Bauer.
Present.
Member at Large Leela DeCon. I know she's driving.
She's there.
There may be a lag.
Wherever there is.
We can all see her.
Yes.
Yep, she waved.
Okay, she waved. All right. Member at Large David Hayter.
Present.
And Member at Large Lakshmana Viswanath.
Yeah.
And Executive Director Renee Bartlett.
Here.
Excellent. Are there any new conflicts of interest that need to be disclosed? All right, hearing none, we'll move on to the financial report. Vice President of Finance, Chuck Unruh, if you'll give us your last financial report.
My pleasure, Mr. President. An interesting year to say the least. But as we stated in our last meeting, or as I stated, we would land on our feet. That is what has happened. We were forecasting a bottom line negative of actual negative of 238,000. The preliminary results are 213,000. So we have
Positive,
weathered,
right? Positive.
No, negative.
Oh,
It's
negative.
negative.
Okay.
Yes, we were very close to our forecast. And that's good news when we consider we have the numbers in from Super Nationals. And of course, we've celebrated that the actual was 54,000 to the good, as Randy was saying, surplus there. And the issue with it is that we're 402,000 to the negative on the budget. And as we know, a budget has revenues and expenses, and somewhere something has to make up for that. Well, based on what has happened this year, our events and the turmoil with our events, it's not that the events weren't good events. They were all excellent in actual execution. We did a good job. Unfortunately, we didn't have the participation, and at the same time had higher costs than we anticipated. Well, that will not be in next year's budget. Remember, this is our last month. Next year will not see the Pan Am loss. Next year will not see the Super National budget shortfall. So those two things have had to be replaced in our cash flow for operations, along with an IT and information technology upgrade with LEGO. Now that was another 500,000. So we start the new year with very little in the rainy day fund. We're going to use there's 284,000 at the end of June in the rainy day fund. We're using 250,000 to get us through the US Open and the anticipated losses through the US Open. I think Randy can attest to that. We used to borrow 200,000 during the year, especially for the first cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then would pay it back as September, October, November kicked in and activity picked up for US Chess. So this is very similar, but we're not going to borrow money. And we don't know if we're going to need the entire amount, but we need that cushion right now to make sure that our cash liquidity is such that we can pay all of our bills on time and meet our payroll on time. And then we'll see where we land on the US Open. Even when you think of these budget shortfalls and the cash that we've used, $1.1 million. It's still, we definitely advised everyone that we were going to have these shortfalls at the delegates meeting last year. So we're finishing not at the 900. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we came to the delegates and we said, oh, our budget's going to be about a negative 800,000 because of the losses, owing to the losses. Our forecast in the final revision was for a negative $938,000 from our accounting firm. And we finished at 212. We're 700,000 above budget, but we have a cash liquidity concern. Once we hit September, I believe everything will heal up. And then it'll be up to the board, the new board, to decide how they will replenish the rainy day fund, and it may take years. How was that fund, original funding for it? The Life Membership Trust provided 170,000 roughly to rainy day. We paid for 4 years. It was really a good deal for the life members. It's the first time we were able to reimburse operations any money, but they put it into the reserve fund, which is our rainy day fund. Then we look at it and we say, well, there was a time when the board was actually managing the company and saving money. And that money, those monies went into the rainy day fund, just the savings. So we had a savings from limited staff. We were always understaffed during the time, as we went to a different tax status in 2013. We were very much understaffed at that time. Lastly, we kept saying we're going to have a capital budget each year, and we didn't spend our capital budget and wound up with quite a bit of excess. So there were years where we actually had excess of $500 to $1 million that we did not spend, and this time we had to spend it. Now, it wasn't spent exactly on information technology. It was on events, but 500,000 went to information technology that is not going to be there in this year. We'll have 100,000 of that 250 will go to LEGO, and that is the last payment of the 500,000. So in general, our head's in the refrigerator, our feet are in the fire, and we feel good on average. We're actually in pretty good shape. So that is the condensed version of what's going on. The budget will be challenging owing to cash liquidity concerns.
The only thing I would just a minor change from your very good recitation. The credit facility, the line of credit was $300,000.
I thought it was 200.
In December of 2001, I just looked back at my
You
records when I
did.
was the vice president of finance. It was 300,000.
Okay. You know, I can believe that because there were difficult times, and
It was
we're
very
not
good.
there. We're not
No,
there, Bob.
there's no comparison. I mean, we almost ceased to be a going concern. Uh, there were issues, a lot of financial issues that are not the case now. It's very well managed. We have our investments that are well managed. We have an outside accounting firm that, advises us. These are all changes that the board has made in the last decade or so that have all significantly contributed to much greater financial stability.
Yes, and so where did we make up the 700,000? Were we really that far off at 938,000 expected negative? Well, when we budget, we're very conservative. we didn't really put anything in for gains from investments. That was over 300,000. And then, of course, we had donations such as that came in the door for scholarships and that were several $100,000. But that's restricted money.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why this budget process we're going through is taking a little bit longer, because we have to have an operational budget, and then we have to also look at the budget for the entire mission. Questions? That's the condensed version. For those that would like to hear the long story, join me Friday at the US Open for the finance meeting, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
You know, unless someone famously wants to use the Joel Channing line, if there are any questions, I'll be in the bar.
Oh gosh, that still exists, that line. Any minute.
I was the finance committee chair that year. I was not very happy with him.
Well,
Randy,
I
I
was on
thought
your team. I remember.
you were saving
thank
that
you
for
for
Wisconsin,
listening.
Randy.
All right. Are there any other questions? Okay, well, thank you for the report.
You're welcome.
And at this point, we will move into closed session, and we'll see you on the other side of that when we return. All right, welcome back. We are back in open session, and we have several motions that we need to go through.
Several,
So
we
let's
have
go ahead.
10, right?
Yes, we have 10. We have 10. All right, so Mr. Secretary, if you'll take us through the first motion, please.
Okay, Mr. President, we recording again now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The first motion involves a suspension of membership. The executive board moves to suspend the U.S. Chess membership of Mr. Juan Zendejas, U.S. Chess ID 127-17746, for violations of Section 6, the preamble of the U.S. Chess Code of Ethics, and Section 6A for engaging in discussions facilitating a prearranged draw between two players. In accordance with the bylaws of the U.S. Chess Federation, Article 3, membership, Section 4, revocation of membership or affiliation for violations of U.S. chess rules or standards. Before the executive board's decision can take effect, Mr. Zendejas has 30 days from the date of receiving this notice to appeal the decision to suspend his membership.
All right, we've heard the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All right, hearing none, let's go to the vote. All in favor, say or raise your hand, aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries. Any opposed? No, that was unanimous.
Yeah, 8-0.
Yep, 8-0. All right, next motion, sir.
Yes, sir. This is a suspension of membership also. The executive board moves to suspend for 3 years the U.S. Chess membership of Andrew Hoy, U.S. Chess ID 1284667, for violation of Section 6A of the U.S. Chess Code of Ethics. The executive board further moves that the TD certification of Mr. Hoy be permanently revoked. In accordance with the bylaws of the U.S. Chess Federation, Article 3, membership, Section 4, revocation of membership or affiliation for violations of U.S. chess rules or standards. Before the executive board's decision can take effect, Mr. Hoy has 30 days from the date of receiving this notice to appeal the decision to suspend his membership. The board's decision to revoke Mr. Hoy's TD certification status is final and cannot be appealed.
Second.
Let's get a second on the,
I just seconded it.
Lila seconded.
oh, you did, I'm sorry, it cut out. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, let's move to the vote. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand, both.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carries unanimous.
Okay, this is the Mr. President, this would be the second motion that's involving the same event. The executive board moves to reprimand William Collins, U.S. Chess ID 114-34801, for violation of Section 6A and the Section 6 preamble of the U.S. Chess Code of Ethics. This reprimand carries with it an automatic 3-month period of probation that begins 9 July 2025, tomorrow, and ends 9 October 2025, and does not affect the status of Mr. Collins' U.S. Chess membership. This decision by the executive board is final and cannot be appealed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded.
All right, any discussion? All right, hearing none, let's put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion carries. The next motion.
This is the third motion from the same case. The executive board moves to suspend the tournament director certification of Charles Slade, U.S. Chess ID 12487244, for 3 months beginning July 9th, tomorrow, and ending October 9th, 2025, followed by 1 year of probation that will end October 9th, 2026. During the year of probation, any absence by Mr. Slade from his TD duties during a tournament will require written documentation of a handoff of responsibilities to another director, with Mr. Slade and the other director both signing the document before Mr. Slade is relieved of his TD responsibilities. This decision of the executive board does not impact Mr. Slade's membership, is final, and cannot be appealed.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All right, let's put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand or both.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, please.
The fourth case from the fourth motion from this same case. The executive board moves to issue a formal warning to John Archibald, U.S. Chess ID 151-10208, club tournament director, for technical incompetence during an event where he was listed as the tournament director. Mr. Archibald also is directed to complete the Safe Sport refresher course no later than July 31st, 2025. This decision by the executive board has no impact on Mr. Archibald's membership status, is final, and cannot be appealed.
Second.
Been seconded. Any discussion? All right, let's put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand or both.
Aye.
Aye.
Next motion, please.
This is the final motion from this case. This motion affects an affiliate. The executive board moves to require the Boylston Chess Club, affiliate ID A as in Alpha 5000408, to post a notification adjacent to the pairings for every round that Mr. Andrew Hoy, U.S. Chess ID 12846607, is not a certified tournament director and is not authorized to make any TD rulings. This decision by the executive board is final and cannot be appealed.
Second.
Been seconded. Any discussion? All right, let's put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand or both.
Aye.
All right, it's unanimous. Motion carries. Next motion, please.
Yes, Mr. President and members of the board, this is a safe play case. The executive board moves to reprimand Ryan Deering, U.S. Chess ID 14765507, and impose a period of probation of 6 months, effective 9 July 2025 and ending 9 January 2026, for violations of Section 3, prohibited conduct, subparagraph D, harassment, of the U.S. Chess Safe Play Policy. During the period of probation, if Mr. Deering has an incident in which he harasses or intimidates any U.S. Chess member in connection with a U.S. Chess sanctioned event, rated or unrated, then the executive board may remove the probation and suspend Mr. Deering's U.S. Chess membership for at least 6 months, beginning the date the executive board votes to remove the probation. The decision to suspend, the decision to impose the period of probation does not impact Mr. Slade's membership, is final, and cannot be appealed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded. Any discussion? Let's put it to a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye or both.
Aye.
Motion carries. What number of motion are we on, Mr. Secretary?
We got several left.
Oh,
We do. Unfortunately, we do.
yeah.
There was 3 for sure. The next motion is one for an individual who had been previously under suspension by the executive director under her powers. The executive board moves to revoke the membership of F. Leon Wilson, U.S. Chess ID 12397107, and that a flag be placed on his official record to prohibit him from renewing his membership or otherwise rejoining U.S. Chess under his current or an assumed name until he is removed from the Ohio Sex Offender Registry. Mr. Wilson is forbidden to appear at, attend, or participate in any U.S. Chess sanctioned events, rated or unrated. In accordance with the bylaws of the U.S. Chess Federation, Article 3, Membership, Section 4, Revocation of membership or affiliation for violations of U.S. chess rules or standards. Before the executive board's decision can take effect, Mr. Wilson has 30 days from the date of receiving this notice to appeal the decision to revoke his membership.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes, second.
Any discussion? Okay, let's put it to a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Next motion, sir.
This is a safe play matter that was brought to the board's attention. The executive board moves to revoke the U.S. chess membership of Joseph Ching Yuan, U.S. chess ID 14023940, for violations of Section 3, prohibited conduct, subparagraph A1, sexual misconduct involving minors of the U.S. chess safe play policy, and that a flag be placed on his official record to prohibit him from renewing his membership or otherwise rejoining U.S. chess under his current or an assumed name. Mr. Yuan is forbidden to appear at, attend, or participate in any U.S. chess sanctioned events, rated or unrated. In accordance with the bylaws of the U.S. Chess Federation, Article 3, Membership, Section 4, Revocation of membership or affiliation for violations of U.S. chess rules or standards. Before the executive board's decision can take effect, Mr. Yuan has 30 days from the date of receiving this notice to appeal the decision to revoke his membership.
Second.
It's been seconded. Is there any discussion? Let's put it to a vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand or say aye or both.
Aye.
Do we have any abstentions?
Abstain.
2.
Abstention.
Duly noted.
So this one passes 6-0.
Oh, with 2 abstentions.
I'll put your names in there.
Yes. David Hayter, John Fernandez.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one.
And Mr. President, the final motion is related to the certifications of U.S. chess coaches. As members may recall, the board had previously extended chess coach certifications till the end of December. It was brought to the board, one of the board members' attention, that that the board's edict ran out. So this motion corrects that. The motion reads, the executive board moves to extend the certification of all U.S. chess coaches until December 31st, 2026.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
It's been seconded.
I have a question. Should it read U.S. chess certified coaches?
Well, if you're a certification of a U.S. chess coach, I
Okay.
presume you're certified.
Okay.
All right, any additional discussion? Let's put it to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand or both.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Mr. President, I just wanted to mention to the members that the board is very shortly going to be considering what's sort of be the next phase of chess coach certification. And that will be one of the actions that will be on our slate to work at the upcoming U.S. Open.
All right, thank you. So in closing, I'd like to say that the next time we get together will be at the U.S. Open in about 3 weeks in Milton, Wisconsin. So that'll be a very nice event. Look forward to seeing all of the board and seeing many of you there. I have also signed up to play around, so make sure to be on the lookout for me. I'll be giving away rating points as usual. But aside from that, I just wanted to say the election to the executive board closes out this week, and hopefully everyone has made their decision by now. I do see online there's a few people who say they're still not entirely sure who to vote for. Hopefully you'll make up your mind in the next couple of days before it closes. I would like to add that this is the last Zoom call of this particular group of executive board members. And I just wanted to thank Chuck, Mike, and Randy for the years and even decades of service. So let's give those guys a round of applause. Thank you for that. And
We
then
thank you too. We thank you too, Kevin.
Yeah, and
Yes.
we thank you because we're leaving.
Yes, I can believe that. But I would just say you guys are so special. We will have new board members, but you guys are absolutely irreplaceable. And as they say in the Game of Thrones, we're not likely to see people like you come back again. You guys have been wonderful. I really appreciate it, and I'm very impressed and glad to have been working with you as well as I'm sure everyone else.
Well, I mean, I speak for the three of us. This has been an honor and a pleasure, and you all have been great to serve with as well. And I feel like the board's in really good hands going forward. And I would have, having been the one who's served the longest on this, I wouldn't have necessarily felt that way sometimes in the past. So carry on.
We aim to do so. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. President, I have
Yes.
in my notes 2 other items that we discussed in the closed session that we have not voted on yet. One is an event sales agreement, and the other are the minutes from the June 10th executive board meeting.
That's right. Thank you, Renee, for bringing that to our attention.
Can those motions be placed in the portal, Mr. Secretary?
You're
Well,
on
we can
mute.
vote on the minutes, right?
Mike's on mute.
Mike, you're muted.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, so the executive board votes to approve, blah, blah, blah.
The minutes.
The June 10th, 2025
June 10th.
executive board meeting.
That one's ready.
Second.
You say ready, that's in the portal ready. Yes.
No,
No, let's just vote on it now.
ready's now. The executive board moves to approve the minutes of the 10 June 2025 executive board meeting.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Let's move to a vote. All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye or both.
Aye.
Motion carries. We have one more motion.
That's
This is
the
a record.
one that we'll have to put that in the portal.
Okay.
And The last one we're gonna put in the portal concerning the.
Yeah, the
The
contract.
contract. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right, so do I have a motion to adjourn?
Adjourn.
do.
So moved.
So moved. All in favor?
Yeah.
Hey,
Aye.
all right.
Good night, everybody.
See you, everyone.